Of Timbuktu and other towns, the Tuareg MNLA group declared independence in the north. Cases of beer were destroyed, and women are being forced to wear head coverings as Ansar Dine imposed Sharia law in some areas under its influence, and distanced itself from the Tuareg nationalist cause. The EU and aid groups have warned of a humanitarian crisis and abuses against civilians.
A relative calm that has prevailed in the Democratic Republic of Congo is being threatened by another confrontation between the central government and a rogue general in the restive North Kivu region. A worried President Joseph Kabila has warned he will arrest Grenadier General Bosco Ntaganda, who has been accused of recruiting child soldiers and committing human rights abuses. Let's look at this report for more on that.
General Bosco Ntaganda, known locally as the Terminator, has become the most wanted man in the DR Congo. He has been indicted by the International Criminal Court for war crimes committed during the country's brutal 5-year war. General Ntaganda, along with hundreds of other soldiers, defected from the regular army in early April and disappeared somewhere in the province of North and South Kivu. Troops have been sent in to hunt him down. There is no place for him today in our military. As soon as we lay our hands on him, he'll go to prison. The former rebel leader rejoined the Congolese army in 2009, following the signature of a peace agreement with Kinshasa. But a warrant for his arrest, issued 2 years earlier by the ICC, which charged him with the forcible enlistment of child soldiers, ended an amnesty granted by President Joseph Kabila in the name of peace. The president says that his decision to arrest the general is entirely his own.
Reports say a semblance of calm has returned to some of the hotspots in Syria's long-year internal conflict as UN brokered ceasefire came into effect. The Syrian Minister of Defense says on state TV it has suspended all military actions, but opposition forces in the city of Qom say government troops have shelled neighborhoods of the city. Responding to Thursday's development, the United Nations say it will judge Assad by his actions and not his words. We have details of that story in this report.
All eyes are in Syria to see if a tense ceasefire that came into force Thursday morning will hold. State television announced the army will react to the least provocation. There are fears that the UN and Arab League brokered ceasefire agreement will be short-lived, following reports that 3 civilians and 1 soldier have been killed. Syrians demanding the departure of President Bashar al-Assad are skeptical about the government's intentions.
Kofi Annan might have talked to them about putting an end to the killings, but I'm sure they won't stop. The ceasefire won't last. Daily shootings and clashes will go on. They must have hidden their tanks in the fields, but that's all.
Western powers are also doubtful about the Syrian regime's intentions. These doubts were expressed by the US even before the latest killings.
Well, we've seen the announcement. It won't surprise you if I say that we will judge the Assad regime by what it does, not by what it says.
Syria's main opposition group expressed doubts about President Assad's intentions as well.
The people will come out in the streets demonstrating and demanding his removal, his stepping down. So I think the regime will have to retaliate by opening the fire again.
According to Syria's opposition, the ceasefire provides an opportunity for Syrian tanks to be redeployed before new mass arrests. The UN Arab League ceasefire plan allows protesters the right to demonstrate freely, and new mass street demonstrations are expected to be held on Friday as usual.
We'll now take our second break. Sports is next. And now on to sports. 5 young athletes who took part in the ECOWAS Junior Championship in Abidjan in Abidjan returned home following an impressive performance. The Gambian team won 5 medals, 2 of which are gold. Modest Jallo was at the airport when the team arrived, and he now tells us more.
It was smiles all over their faces as these young athletes touched down at the Banjul International Airport, with their medals glittering round their necks. The 5-man Gambian team led by Dudu Kapijuf, the president of the Gambia Athletics Association, comprised of 4 athletes and a coach. They returned from the ECOWAS Junior Championship with 2 gold medals, a silver and 2 bronze medals. Adama Jammeh won double gold in both the 100 meters and 200 meters. The Gambia's young sensation beat off stiff competition from the likes of Nigeria and Ghana, setting a personal best of 10.56 seconds and 20.27 seconds in the 100 and 200 meters respectively. Gina Bass got 2 bronze medals in the 100 and 200 meters, whilst Omar Jammeh finished second in the 800 meters race to win silver. Our J. Jallo narrowly missed out on a place on the podium after finishing 4th in the 100-meter sprints. The gallant athletes were received on arrival by officials of the Gambia Athletics Association and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Whilst at the airport, the team also met the U.S. Ambassador Pamela Ann White at the VIP lounge, and the American diplomat was equally impressed with their achievements. The president of the Gambia Athletics Association, who was with the team in Abidjan, hailed the outstanding performance of the team in the sub-regional championship.
Almost 12 countries where we have the so-called champion of Africa, that is Ghana and Nigeria. We see our young athletes beating them. I think it was a proud moment for me, especially when the flag of the Gambia was raised and the national anthem played. Actually, I was really proud to be a Gambian and to be head of the Gambia Athletic Association. But that is mainly due also to your assistance, your support, the government, the ministry, and the entire Gambian people. They were behind us, supporting us, and we hope that will continue.
The Director of Youth and Sports saluted the athletes for their fine display, describing their performance as an indication that athletics in the country is on the right track.
They've made us proud because, yes, Gambia is small, but we've shown other countries that we can achieve excellence in sports, especially coming home with medals of all categories, where we've got the gold, silver, and bronze. And this is a good foundation for our athletes and our athletics in this country. We want to say keep it up, and the support is for us to give, and we will give. It is about teamwork, and that's why you can achieve this. Just continue being committed to what you are doing.
Adama Jammeh, whose eye-catching sprint in the 100 and 200 meters attracted huge attention, and his coach Malan Cisse both praised the Gambia Athletics Association for supporting them this far. Modest Jallo, Grts.
And before we take leave of you, a reminder once again of our headline-making stories. Banjul and Taipei have pledged to further deepen and bolster the mutually beneficial ties between the two countries and people. Taiwanese President Ma Ying-jeou has capped off a tour of agriculture-related sites in the metropolis with a visit to the Natural Agricultural Research Institute. A tough-talking Jonkunda Traore has assumed the presidency in Mali in a caretaker capacity, promising to take the war to the Tuareg separatists in the north of the country. And guns have fallen silent momentarily as both sides in Syria's year-long conflict observe a UN-brokered ceasefire, but skepticism is growing about the longevity of the truce. You can follow those stories on other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That brings us to the end of our midday news. Thanks for keeping us company, and stay tuned and enjoy our range of interesting programs. Until then, my name is Abubakar Dabo.